Right now at 5, Joplin schools make sure kids have something to eat during the summer months.
And we've got a few scattered thunderstorms out there. Our rain chances continuing to increase over the next couple of days. We'll look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, food truck workers in Joplin find ways to stay cool while serving up a hot meal.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowe.
I'm Chris Warner. It is now Wednesday, July the 3rd. And of course, we're live on KOAM and streaming live on the KOAM Plus app.
Yes.
On your smart TV. We're just going to leave it at that now.
There we go.
I've just come to the, say it's a smart TV. It probably is smarter than me.
Probably smarter than me too.
But it doesn't take a lot.
No.
For me. I mean, not I meant that at me.
Chris. Sure.
I realize.
Sure.
Look, so we took the kids to the Hope City fireworks celebration last night, and I knew I'd be paying for it this morning, and I am. But it was so worth it. An incredible show every year. But if I just pass out in the middle of the weather, worry not. I'll wake back up after a good nap. And let's start with what we do have going on outside. We're starting with the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Take a look. Got a few showers and some thunderstorms out there. Nothing strong or severe, which is good. Unfortunately, it may change as the day goes on. So we got this little shower now south of Girard, right in between Girard and Pittsburgh. Got a little one flaring up just to the west of Howard. As we cross into Missouri, got a little complex here. Got some lightning with these storms. Nothing too intense at this point. Back through Barton County over towards Stockton, Greenfield, stretching down to the northwest of Mount Vernon. And we've had a couple of stray showers in the northeastern Oklahoma. And we've had some activity that's tried to get going along this line back to the south and west, but not really seen much out in the Oklahoma side. And see, if you put this in motion, you can see where it's tried to fill in down to the south, but has not really been successful. However, we have showers and thunderstorms out to the west. We have this complex that's developing this morning, and we'll get a pause and we'll see additional development as we head later into the morning. Got heat advisories, Oklahoma, in our southern counties in Missouri until 9 in Oklahoma, 8 this evening for the counties in Missouri. And they're back at that point, even if you're not under a heat advisory, but some of the gaps between the storms, we're still looking at heat index values easily 105 and in the heat advisory zones upwards of 110. So again, that puts us here where heat exhaustion is likely, heat stroke is possible out there. So let's head down the road. So this is what we're talking about. We'll have gaps in the storms, and that's what's going to allow us to still be able to heat up. And then as we head later into the evening, we're going to see more thunderstorm development take place across the area. And some of these storms could be strong to low-grade severe, with large hail and damaging winds being the primary concern. Got some disparities in temperatures. A little cooler Iola at 74. The rest of us upper 70s and low 80s. And look at this. It feels like it is 91 degrees in Miami and Grove. It is 5 o'clock in the morning, and it feels like 5 o'clock in the evening outside already. So it's going to be another hot one for us. So we'll have those scattered thunderstorms. Again, we'll have some pauses, and we'll start to see those thunderstorm chances increase as we head through the evening and into the overnight hours. And again, a strong storm or two possible, and we've still got to contend with those potentially dangerous heat index values. We are expecting showers and storms for our 4th of July. Some of those could be severe as well, and some of those could ruin your 4th of July plans. We'll have a full look at your forecast, break down those rain chances here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
Chris, thanks. Well, a new report shows traffic fatalities have increased by 25% nationwide over the past 10 years. But over the past 2 years, fatalities have dropped by 5%. In this area, Arkansas has seen the biggest drop in fatalities, down 12% from 2021 to 2023. In Oklahoma, they're down 9% over those 2 years. And in Kansas, fatalities are down 8%. In Missouri, just 2%. The transportation research group TRIP highlights some efforts to reduce crashes, including educating drivers about dangerous habits, making vehicles safer, and improving roadway designs. Joplin Public Schools are offering free breakfast and lunch at the Joplin Public Library every day through August 13th. They'll serve lunches such as sandwiches and chips, and students have to be 18 or under and don't have to attend a Joplin school to qualify for the free meal. Their goal is to help kids in need avoid food insecurity during the summer when students don't have access to daily school lunch.
For our budget at Joplin Schools, we've seen a 27% and a 10% increase over the last 2 years. So I know how challenging it is to squeak every penny out of the budget, and I think it's no different than for families.
Lunches at the Joplin Public Library will be served from 11 a.m. to 11:30 or while supplies last. Well, the summer weather is creating even hotter kitchens in food trucks. KOAM's Amber Jenkins spoke with food truck workers about how they're managing the heat.
If you can't handle the heat, get out the kitchen.
Now in the truck, it probably feels like 105, close to 110.
Food truck workers at Ghetto Tacos in Joplin say the heat is manageable as long as it's being pushed out.
We have some split units, so what we do, we push the heat out. We try to push it out, and then we run some fans and drinking a lot of water.
But it wasn't always that way.
We started under a tent, and we used to push our cooker, and we had a trailer where we pull it all down, and then. But when we started here, in the heat, it was now there. We didn't. Only thing we had was fans, but it was really hot. And now looking back, it's like, man, it was all worth it.
Did you like some?
I do.
Now, 7 years later, Ghetto Tacos has a fleet of trucks and even a brick and mortar restaurant in Webb City with proper air conditioning.
Because now you kind of appreciate what you have now, and I do appreciate, and especially the customers. So yes, we went through winter, summer, and under a tent.
And the customers appreciate it. Reporting in Joplin, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Ghetto Tacos were featured on the Food Network's TV show Best Bite in Town in April. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes coming up on the KOAM Morning News. The Joplin Outlaws are home yesterday afternoon to take on the Sherman Shadow Cats. We'll have the details. Plus, King Charles receives the keys to the city of Edinburgh as Scotland's capital celebrates its 900th anniversary. And rain chances return. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Well, it's been a big week for NEO men's basketball. Not only has this team hosted its youth camp, but the Golden Norsemen also saw one of their alumni get picked in the second round of the NBA draft. It was day 2 of NEO men's basketball youth camp. Golden Norsemen coaches and players led a morning session for 6 through 11-year-olds, then an afternoon group for kids aged 12 to 16. This comes just under a week after former Golden Norseman Jonathan Mogbo is selected by the Toronto Raptors with the 31st overall pick in the 2024 NBA draft.
Him being the first pick in the second round was huge, especially going into, we're finishing up our recruiting session right now, and so bringing in kids, it's big time to tell them that, you come here, you can reach the highest levels of college basketball, and not even do that, make it to the National Basketball Association as well. That's every kid's dream, is to make it to the NBA, so to help them do that, it's amazing for us.
Outlaws in action early yesterday at Joe Becker Stadium. They host the Sherman Shadow Cats after losing 3 of the 4 home games against the Fort Smith Marshals over the weekend. Joplin Outlaws at home yesterday afternoon, again taking on those Shadow Cats, who are in last place in the Mid-America League. Xavier Fossbenner starts on the mound for Joplin. He gets a strikeout swinging in the first, then another in the second. He'd finish the day with 7. Outlaws bats come to life in the 5th. Andres Garcia gets things started with this deep fly over the head of the center fielder. It rolls to the wall. 2-run score. Outlaws up 6-3. A little later in the inning, Ravon Morgan at the plate. He singles into right field. Garcia scores, and that's a 7-3 Joplin lead in the bottom of the 5th. Same frame, couple batters later. Andre Jackson hits a line drive into left field. Morgan and Cale Good both score. The Outlaws get back in the win column at home. They beat Sherman 14-3 and improved their record to 10-4 in games played at Joe Becker Stadium. Former Missouri Southern Lion will be representing his country in the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris. Rajendra Campbell will be competing for Team Jamaica in Paris after taking first place in the shot put at the Jamaican Olympic Trials. Campbell was at Missouri Southern from 2019 to 2021. He's the indoor school record holder in shot put and ranks second all-time in outdoor shot put and discus. Since graduating, he's gone on to win the 2023 Jamaican national title in shot put. Over to Major League Baseball, Cardinals on the road in Pittsburgh last night. They beat the Pirates 7-4. St. Louis opened up a 6-0 lead in the fourth inning when Nolan Gorman hit a grand slam. Cal Gibson picks up the win on the mound for the Redbirds. These two play each other again tonight. Over to the American League, Royals at home against the Rays yesterday evening. Kansas City trailing 1-0 in the sixth, but the game got into a rain delay. Because 5 innings have already been played, Major League Baseball could declare this game over, but for now, still waiting on a decision from the umpiring crew. Still to come, we're going to see how eating ultra-processed foods may shorten your lifespan by more than 10%. Plus, check out that forecast and those rain chances when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:16 now on this Wednesday morning, July 3rd. We've got a few fireworks of our own from Mother Nature this morning. We'll have more of these as we head into tomorrow. Some scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area. Nothing strong or severe at this point, but we got this thunderstorm roughly in between Girard and Pittsburgh. So in the north sides of Pittsburgh, just getting outside the north side of the bypass up there. We got some new showers trying to develop off to the south and west of this, back into Cherokee County and into Craig County. And then we've got this one. If you remember at the beginning of the newscast, this was just a little splotch of a shower west of Howard, and we're seeing it continue to develop and grow and stretching back toward north of Bloomington, just east of Wichita. Back on the Missouri side real quick, we'll take a look at some slightly more organized shower and thunderstorm activity. Again, nothing severe, but Lamar, just south of Nevada, Stockton, Greenfield, and it's probably just barely going to miss Mount Vernon. You may get a sprinkle or two out there. Back into Oklahoma, again, there wasn't much, but we are still trying to fill in out there with some additional shower and thunderstorm activity. And regardless, we will see more scattered showers and storms across the area today, and some of these could be strong to low-grade severe. So our biggest concerns right now are for hail and for damaging wind gusts. So we have a low risk for hail across the area and a low to slightly elevated risk in parts of southwestern Missouri. And then we have our severe threat tomorrow as well. So let's head through the rest of today. Again, we'll have these scattered showers and storms. We'll have enough breaks in between that we're still going to be hot. That's why we still have some heat advisories out there. But as we head through the evening, we'll see more showers and storms. Later in the day, by about 7 o'clock or so, this is the activity as it develops that'll have that better chance of producing some damaging wind gusts, but it will be out of our area rather quickly. Overnight, more scattered showers, storms. We'll have another pause in activity. This is that same complex we were talking about yesterday that initially had some of that Boeing feature on it. So these storms could be strong to severe as they roll through, and they're going to breeze through very early tomorrow morning. By about this time, though, we'll still have some scattered showers and storms out there. Then we'll clear out. We're going to spend most of Thursday dry and hot again. Unfortunately, though, Mother Nature lighting off her own fireworks right around the time we should start doing so ourselves. So if you've got 4th of July plans, you want to monitor the forecast very closely over the next 24 hours or so. Just keep an eye on all this because it will still change. It's dynamic, but we are looking at slightly better chances of showers and thunderstorms as a cold front rolls through the area tomorrow. And these storms across the region could be strong to severe with damaging wind gusts and large hail. So here we are at 9 o'clock. Further west, you may start to clear out, but by 9, when we should be getting those celebrations underway into parts of southeast Kansas, Missouri, and into Oklahoma, we may still have ongoing showers and thunderstorms out there. And we'll start to clear out by the time we head into our Friday. So again, we have that low to elevated risk today, and we have an elevated risk still across most of the area as we head into tomorrow. Our UV index today slightly better thanks to the clouds. We're at an 8, still very high. Burn time's about 15 minutes. Make make sure you're taking precautions. Heat advisories in our southern counties through 9 in Oklahoma, through 8 in southwest Missouri. Quick look outside. Cloudy skies from those storms off to the north. 83 in Joplin, feels like 89. The southwest breeze at 6. Temperatures around the region are into, for the most part, upper 70s and low 80s across the area, and our dew points are at look at that in Nevada, an 80-degree dew point, so it's making it feel like it is in the upper 80s and even some low 90s for some of us out there this morning. So again, a very uncomfortable start to the day. We'll have isolated to scattered showers and storms as we go through the morning, upper 80s by 11 o'clock. Highs today for most of us, low to mid 90s. A little further south, you may get a little warmer than that, hence those heat advisories. Upper 90s tomorrow, a little cooler for Friday. The heat returns into the weekend, as do some thunderstorm chances. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning. The Supreme Court is once again assessing the Food and Drug Administration's decisions in scientific expertise. The justices agreed to review the FDA's power to regulate e-cigarettes. The multi-billion-dollar industry has come under scrutiny for its popularity among young people. The FDA says when approving a product, it looks at the risk and benefit to the entire population, not just the user. It denied applications for several e-cigarettes, namely ones that are candy or dessert flavored. That prompted legal challenges from e-cigarette makers. Lower courts are divided on whether the agency acted arbitrary and capricious in denying the applications. Well, taking antidepressants can cause patients to put on a couple extra pounds. That's according to a study published this week in the Annals of Internal Medicine. The research focused on how much average weight people gain from taking 8 of the most common antidepressants. The findings show the typical adult on these drugs adds 1 to 2 pounds annually, which doctors say could eventually lead to obesity. Data from more than 183,000 people were used in this study. Those involved in the research say patients battling depression could try to avoid gaining more weight with healthy eating habits and regular exercise. Well, we know ultra-processed foods are bad for you. Now a new unpublished study finds eating them at a higher levels could shorten lifespans by more than 10%. Ultra-processed foods contain ingredients never or rarely used in kitchens or additives to make the final product more appealing. Researchers studied more than 500,000 people for nearly 3 decades, asking about their consumption of 124 foods. Those who ate the most ultra-processed food were more likely to die from heart disease or diabetes. Researchers found no rise in cancer-related death. Highly processed meat and soft drinks were the most strongly associated with mortality risk. And that's concerning since soft drinks top the list of most popular overly processed food, followed by ultra-processed breads and baked goods. High temperatures across the U.S. are leading to a rise in emergency room visits for heat-related illnesses. According to CDC data, people who exercise in extreme heat are at high risk, but experts say you can be active outside if you do it carefully. Mandy Gaither has more on how to stay safe while exercising in the heat.
It can be a challenge staying fit in the summer heat.
It's the outdoor exercise sports that people enjoy doing that we have to be a little bit more cautious as it pertains to heat-related illness.
Sports medicine specialist Dr. Matthew Anastasi with the Mayo Clinic says if you enjoy outdoor exercise, choose times of the day when it's less hot.
We usually recommend early mornings and later evenings in the summertime just to stay away from those times of maximal temperature.
Start slow, picking up the pace over time. Wear loose, lightweight, light-colored clothing, which can also help keep you cooler, and monitor the humidity.
Because that helps determine how much stress the body is really going to be under.
Sweating depletes the body of electrolytes, so staying hydrated is key before, during, and after you're active.
How long of a duration are you going to be exercising for? Because that will help determine how much water you need to bring with you. Is that a 12-ounce bottle? Is that a 24-ounce bottle? And that can vary. But in general, I think it's imperative for everyone to recognize the intensity to which they need to exercise.
Finally, be aware of heat-related illness red flags. The CDC says muscle cramping may be an early sign. If you feel faint or weak, stop all activity and get to a cool place.
The symptoms can be wide and varied. It can just be a little bit more fatigued, sluggish, headaches, lethargy, even feeling some nauseousness or just feeling out of sorts.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we're watching thunderstorms continuing to develop across the area this morning. Nothing severe at this point, but that could change over the next few hours. We'll have another look at your forecast when we come back.
Right now at 5:30, folks in Crawford County got out on the water to enjoy some free Independence Day festivities.
And we've got some scattered showers and thunderstorms as we get our day started. Those chances increasing over the next couple of days. We'll look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, folks in Joplin took the opportunity to come and light up the city.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Wednesday. It's July the 3rd. The 4th is tomorrow.
Yes.
And unfortunately, Mother Nature bringing her own fireworks tomorrow night for many of us.
It certainly seems like it, yeah.
Yeah, I'll get into the Thursday forecast in detail here in just a moment. But we mentioned it yesterday. We were talking about it all day yesterday. It does look like we need the rain, but it's coming at the most inopportune time. Of all the days of the week, it couldn't come Friday, couldn't even wait till maybe Saturday. It had to be on the 4th of July. We'll talk about that here in just a moment, but let's first start with Skywatch Storm Tracker as we are looking at showers and thunderstorms already across the area this morning. And we've seen them die out and they're starting to flare back up again. Again, nothing strong, nothing severe out there at this point. But as we zoom into southeast Kansas, again, we've seen this one little cell over by Howard kind of expand out, and it continues to expand to the west back toward Wichita. And then out here, we had just a few stray showers into Cherokee County, trailing off of this storm on the north side of Pittsburgh, and that's begun to fill in all the way down into Craig County in northeastern Oklahoma. On the Missouri side, some slightly more organized, a little more widespread, let's put it that way. Shower and thunderstorm activity just exiting Greenfield, Mount Vernon. Again, as I mentioned, we're watching these kind of die out and then flare back up. This guy's kind of flaring up, so you may get more than just some sprinkles down there. Stockton, south of Osceola, south of Nevada, north of Lamar on I-49. Some heavier rain out there with some of these. And again, back into Oklahoma, this batch is trying to fill in. So Chatopa, you're sandwiched in between a couple of heavier bouts of rain, and we're watching activity again stretching all the way back down into Washington County and further southwest. So we have the main complex up over northeastern Missouri, but on the trailing edge of that, it is beginning to trigger some additional development. If you look out to the west, more showers and storms out there as well. Heat advisories in our southern counties through the late evening hours because heat index values, even if you're not under an advisory, could still reach 105, but in those advisories could make that 110 range. So heat exhaustion likely, heat stroke is possible. Quick reminder, our UV index, thanks to the clouds and rain, slightly better. It's an 8, very high. Burn time is about 15 minutes for unprotected skin. We'll have those scattered showers and thunderstorms out there as we head into the afternoon and evening. Some of these could be strong, low-grade severe with damaging winds and large hail is the primary concern. Temperatures for most of us, upper 70s and low 80s, putting our heat index values into the upper 80s and low 90s at this hour. And again, it's going to be a hot one with those, even with scattered storms and clouds, mid-90s out there, and those heat index values pushing 110. We'll have another full look at your forecast and tomorrow's rain chances here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll check in with you soon. Well, folks in Crawford County got out on the water to enjoy some pre-Independence Day festivities. The Friends of Crawford State Park group hosted its annual Lake Blast event. It featured plenty of food, live music, and was all capped off with a fireworks display off the lake's dam.
Just that, you know, there's not always a ton to do, and we like being the spot that people want to come to, hang out for the day. As you can see, we're already getting busy and we're still 5 hours away from fireworks, so it's just good to see kids and families come out and enjoy the place.
And it's always been very successful, and we just do it as a service to the lake, to the community, We get hundreds of cars coming out. It's really an awesome event.
Volunteers will be out today around 8:30 cleaning up after yesterday's event. Then on Friday and Saturday, the Friends group will host music on the patio events from 6 to 8 p.m. Well, just in time for Independence Day, a brand new Old Glory. Harvest Bank in Joplin yesterday was the site for the latest flag swap event sponsored by KOAM and Fox 14. Anyone with an old tattered American flag could come out and swap it for a new one absolutely free. The old flags will be retired according to the U.S. Flag Code.
Yeah, it just tells me there are a lot of people really proud to fly the American flag. This event began at noon. We had people here at 10:30 ready to go, and just a lot of enthusiasm for the flags, for this event. And what better time with the 4th of July this week, what better time to come out and celebrate and do this.
And if you missed yesterday's event, mark your calendar. The next one will take place on August 28th at Wesco in Neosho, Missouri. Some folks in Joplin took the opportunity to come out last night and light up the city. The event, hosted by the Hope City Church, featured food trucks, fireworks, and a fun family atmosphere. Event organizers say they're excited by how much the event has grown over the years.
Yeah, it's grown. I mean, each year we've done this for several years, and each year it's gotten bigger and bigger. And so it takes more work, it takes more people. Newton County, Joplin Police have been awesome to help us with the event. EMTs, fire, they've just been great. But in all of it, man, just seeing the people come out and celebrate tonight, it's a great night.
Event organizers say the high point of the night for them is bringing families a good time. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The Defense Secretary says the U.S. will soon announce more aid for Ukraine. Plus, the Israeli army is ordering a mass evacuation of Palestinians from Gaza's second largest city. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Topping World Watch, King Charles receives the keys to the city of Edinburgh. It comes as Scotland's capital celebrates its 900th anniversary. The event yesterday, officially known as the Ceremony of the Keys. Celebrations are taking place on the brink of national elections in the United Kingdom, the first in about 5 years. As a tradition, the monarch would have spent a week at an Edinburgh palace, but because of tomorrow's election, King Charles's visit will have to be cut short. Well, French River Police preparing yesterday for the upcoming Olympics in Paris. The unit training on the city's Seine River, where about 10,000 athletes will be parading more than 90 boats. The open air ceremony is expected to be held at sunset and to be around 4 hours. Paris police say they will deploy around 30,000 police officers each day, including armed police for the games. 45,000 officers will be on hand for the opening ceremony on the Seine River. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin says the U.S. will soon announce more aid for Ukraine. Austin's remarks coming yesterday as he met with Ukrainian Defense Minister Rustem Umprov at the Pentagon. The additional security assistance coming at a $2.3 billion. It will include anti-tank weapons, interceptors, and munitions for Patriot and other air defense systems. This announcement coming days before the U.S. hosts a NATO summit in Washington. The Israeli army is ordering a mass evacuation of Palestinians from Gaza's second largest city. It comes months after troops withdrew from the area. Trey Inkst has more.
Israeli forces launching airstrikes near the southern Gaza city of Han Yunis overnight. On Monday, the IDF ordered a mass evacuation of Palestinians from part of Gaza's second largest city. Assigned troops could launch a new ground operation. UN officials estimate that about 250,000 people are in the evacuation zone, including some who fled other fighting.
Here we are going to look for a place to evacuate to. I've been displaced 6 times from Rafah.
Earlier this year, Israel's military wrapped up an offensive in Han Yunis and withdrew most of its troops. But evacuation orders suggest Hamas has regrouped in the area. Still, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel is nearing the elimination of the militant group.
We will achieve all our goals to return our hostages, to eliminate the military and governmental capabilities of Hamas, to ensure that Gaza does not pose a threat.
As the fighting intensifies, some Western leaders say they remain hopeful a ceasefire deal can be reached between Israel and Hamas. On Monday, Secretary of State Antony Blinken ramped up pressure on Hamas's leader to come to an agreement.
One individual, likely buried hundreds of feet underground in Gaza, has the decision-making power. He's continuing to make a hostage of Palestinian children, women, and men.
Hamas maintains it will not release the remaining hostages until all Israeli forces withdraw from Gaza.
And that's a look for World Watch. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 5:44 on this Wednesday morning. We've still got scattered showers and storms out there. All of this trailing off a complex that's off in northeastern and north central Missouri. Back building down to the south and west. And we have some development taking place out west of this as well. So we're going to start, I'll move to this side first. Over by Howard and southwest of Fredonia. We've got these little showers and storms that stretch back toward Wichita out there. Again, nothing strong or severe this morning, nor is that expected. Then as we come to this side, here's that complex across central Missouri, and it's led to this development that stretches all the way back now into Oklahoma. Pittsburgh, you're just exiting some heavy rain. Lamar, you are up next. Nevada, you've got a new shower on the north side. Mount Vernon, it's rolling in. Stockton still dealing with rain. Greenfield's starting to clear out. Back into northeastern Oklahoma, these cells again, see, there wasn't anything here about 45 minutes ago, and it's still trying to redevelop across the area. Again, nothing severe this morning, but we do have that chance for some strong to severe storms. So you can see how quickly all of this is beginning to fill in across the area as well, and it's all linked back to this activity that's off to our west that will eventually give us more opportunities for scattered showers and storms. So what are we expecting today? Well, we've got a low hail risk out there and a low to elevated wind risk. Now this wind risk, the elevated portion, is for later this evening with some other development that's going to take place after about 6 or 7. It'll take place right in this zone and it will exit quickly, but when it develops, it could bring some damaging wind gusts out there. So let's take a look at what that looks like on future track. We'll have pauses in some of this activity. That's why we still have some heat advisories in our southern counties, and that's why it's still going to be a hot day out there. But we'll deal with scattered showers and storms across the area. And then again, by 6, 7 o'clock, we get this complex that'll develop and could become strong to severe, but it'll roll out fairly quickly. A few showers late evening and into the overnight. And then as we head toward early tomorrow morning, we're still watching this complex, still showing up on future track, and this is another one that could be strong to severe out there, and it'll have trailing thunderstorms back behind it in the morning hours on Thursday. Then, the majority of our 4th is hot and dry, and it's not, unfortunately, until it's time to start celebrating that more showers and storms begin to develop as a cold front approaches. So you can see the wind arrow shift right here. Here's that frontal boundary. By 5, we're starting to get scattered showers and storms, and then more of these will develop along the front by the late evening hours across the area. And unfortunately, as you can see, by 9, a lot of southwest Missouri and even parts of southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma dealing with showers and storms after sunset, and some of them could linger through about 10, 11 o'clock, and these could be strong to severe as well. So we do have an elevated risk for severe weather across the entire area, virtually the entire area on our 4th. There's those heat advisories to the late evening hours in our southern counties where you're not expecting as much rain as your counterparts to the north, and so it's going to be a little hotter and a little muggier. You got those thunderheads out there from the storms to the west of Joplin. No rain in the city yet. 83. Feels like 89. The southwest breeze at 6 miles an hour. Temperatures quite mild for most of us. Iola is the cool spot at 73. Everyone else upper 70s and still some low 80s out there. And those heat index values into the upper 80s and low 90s at this hour, which is just wild. And that's a sign as to how hot it's going to be later. Again, isolated to scattered showers and storms for the morning. We're going to go upper 80s by late morning. Highs today right around the mid-90s. Down south, you may make the upper 90s. And then those into southeast Kansas may see a little more cloud cover, maybe a few more showers than the rest of us. You may not make it out of the upper 80s, but the humidity and dew point levels will still be high. Scattered thunderstorms out there. As we head into the evening, scattered storms, as we mentioned, going through the evening and overnight, back into low 70s. Got those storms tomorrow, upper 90s, because we'll have that big pause between the morning and evening storms. Cold front does make us a little cooler Thursday night into Friday, and the heat returns heading into the weekend, as do scattered thunderstorm chances. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Well, Hollywood saved some of its potentially biggest hits of the year for release this month. Rick Damagella has a preview of what's coming to theaters.
You will be the first to test our super serum, designed to transform you into cutting-edge agents. Or you might just explode.
The Minions power up in Despicable Me 4. Hide the bananas when the latest installment of the animated franchise flies into theaters tomorrow.
NASA needs a marketing specialist, and you are the very best.
Excuse me? What are you doing here?
I tracked you down because I felt we had a connection.
What?
I'm joking. I work here now.
Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum star in a rom-com set against the backdrop of the moon landing. The out-of-this-world love story Fly Me to the Moon blasts off July 12th.
Holy. You ever see anything like this?
Not like this.
Hold on.
A new generation of storm chasers take on tornadoes in Twisters. The sequel to Jan de Bont's 1996 hit Twister blows into theaters July 19th.
I don't know anything about saving worlds, but you do. Trust me, kid, I'm no hero.
Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are together again in Deadpool and Wolverine. Here's what you need to know. It's a Marvel movie, earned an R rating for strong bloody violence and language throughout, gore and sexual references, and arrives in theaters July 26th. Avoiding the popcorn bucket craze in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damagella.
Well, a groundbreaking study aimed at getting robots to smile is as compelling as it is cringeworthy. Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
Scientists in Japan say they have successfully made a robot face covered in human-like skin smile, and not everyone seems happy about it. Oh, sure, the scientists are thrilled. They're calling the new study, published in the journal Cell Reports Physical Science, a breakthrough. After successfully growing artificial skin using living cells in a lab, they connected it using a human ligament-like system to anchor the skin to the underlying surface. The unique approach created a strong and flexible bond between the layers, allowing the face to execute human-like and fluid facial expressions, all of which is amazing, but did they have to use the crazy googly eyes? Ever short-sighted, the internet responded with similar snark, with comments ranging from "aw, strangely cute" to "burn it!" Only time will tell if the creepy but creative approach will be a game changer, but to be fair, I'm pretty sure we already tried to make our robot smile and it had mixed results. From super creepy to super trippy, that is the type of ride NASA is offering into the famous and fascinating pillars of creation. The agency used data from the Hubble and Webb telescopes to create an up-close and personal 3D tour of the iconic celestial structure. The visualization offers a look at the pillars in both visible light, which highlights a cloudy, more opaque view, and infrared light, which is more see-through, piercing the thick dust to reveal stars embedded inside. NASA says the multi-wavelength view offers not only a rich and captivating experience, but also new insights on star formation and a broadening of their understanding of the universe. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Certainly incredible. Stick around. We'll be right back. Bolivian chefs tried to break the largest sandwich world record yesterday. Gastronomy experts and student chefs putting together an 800-pound chola sandwich containing flour, onions, carrots, and pork meat. More than 100 students from several universities taking part in the effort. No word yet if they officially broke the record. Well, it's time to celebrate a heart-healthy food that comes in a whopping 440,000 varieties. Today is National Eat Your Beans Day, and that's right, there are about 40,000 bean varieties growing around the world, but only a fraction are mass-produced for us to eat. They can be found in most of our favorite foods, from soups to salads and dips like hummus, which is made with garbanzo beans. With so many options, including green and soybeans, celebrating National Eat Your Beans Day will be easy.
You just want to be careful about how many of those beans you eat, because there's another little rhyme that goes with all those beans, and you want to be cautious, especially if you're spending time with family and friends for the 4th of July holiday. Maybe give yourself some distance if you're eating a wide range of beans for National Bean Day. We're going to have some isolated to widely scattered showers and storms. Already seen those this morning. I'll go upper 80s by 11 o'clock, and we'll continue with scattered thunderstorm chances through the day. Some of those could be strong to low-grade severe with gusty winds, and large hail is the primary concern. Mid-90s for most of us. Heat index values once again, though, 105 to the 110 range, especially in our southern counties. Scattered storms through the evening and overnight, and another round of strong severe storms possible, say, after midnight. And we'll fall back in the low 70s. And we go into tomorrow, and we're going to be into the upper 90s for our 4th. The morning storms clear out. We're dry, hot most of the day. Unfortunately, after 5, a cold front rolls in, and it's going to bring us more shower and thunderstorm chances. Some of those could be severe. Large hail, damaging winds is the primary concern there. Cold front does cool us back, though, briefly into Friday, and then we heat back up into the weekend with more storm chances. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.